Welcome back to World History Explored. Legends and lore of renowned American outlaws have enthralled listeners for countless generations. This fascination with these characters transcends temporal and geographical boundaries, persisting even in our contemporary world. In this riveting video, we're setting off on a vibrant journey that will guide us through the tumultuous lives of some of the most infamous figures in American history. Our exploration will take us back in time to an era where laws and order were frequently bypassed by the unquenchable thirst for power and dominance. We'll venture into the Wild West, a time marked by lawlessness known for the notorious outlaws who roamed its plains. Here, we'll cross paths with individuals such as Jesse James and Billy the Kid, whose adventurous antics and exhilarating gunfights have been immortalized in history and folklore. But our journey doesn't stop there. We'll also traverse into the Prohibition era, a distinctive period in American history when the production and sale of alcohol were outrightly banished. During these years, a fresh breed of lawbreakers surfaced, spurred by the profitable prospect to fulfill the public's unending demand for alcohol. Figures like Al Capone and Bugs Moran dominated headlines, their lives a captivating amalgamation of audacity, shrewdness, and complete indifference to the law. Our story unfolds with the legendary Jesse Woodson James, born in the year 1847. A genuinely iconic character from the pages of America's wild, unbridled history. He was born into a world of tumult and uncertainty, a world that would mold him into a symbol of rebellion and defiance. Jesse James, a name that continues to resonate through the annals of time as the Robin Hood of the Wild West. Born into James' family-proud Southern folk in Kearney, Missouri, young Jesse was thrust into a divided nation. His parents, Robert and Zerelda James, were staunch supporters of the Confederate cause. Their beliefs, along with the volatile times, would shape the young Jesse and direct his path towards becoming a Confederate guerrilla during the pivotal and devastating American Civil War. During these tumultuous years of Civil War, James showcased an indomitable spirit and audacious courage. He was relentless in his efforts to support the Confederacy, marking himself as a formidable guerrilla fighter. His fearlessness was remarkable, his commitment unwavering, and his reputation began to swell. As the remnants of the Civil War began to fade, James found himself in a radically different world. The South, defeated and devastated, was a harsh home for a former Confederate soldier. With survival as his prime focus, he embraced a life of crime. But it was not just any crime. Jesse James etched his name as a notorious bank and train robber. His audacious exploits and unabashed courage were the stuff of legends. James became an outlaw, an emblem of rebellion and defiance against oppression. He wasn't a mere criminal, but a man who boldly stood against the tide, who dared to defy the force that sought to suppress him. However, it wasn't solely his audacious acts of criminality that immortalized him in history. It was his charismatic personality, his allure, and his spirit. These qualities made him a beloved figure among the people, and even though he was on the wrong side of the law, he was portrayed as a folk hero. His criminal deeds were ignored, even romanticized, as they became symbols of resistance and rebellion. Jesse James, with his daring escapades and charismatic persona, rose from a life of crime to become a celebrated folk hero. Despite his outlaw status, he remains a symbol of resistance and rebellion in the face of adversity. As our time machine plunges forward into the depths of history, we collide with the infamous Bonnie and Clyde. Two names that immediately ignite images of audacious heists, breathtaking high-speed pursuits, and a tangled web of romance. Bonnie Elizabeth Parker, born in 1910, and Clyde Chestnut Barrow, who came into this world a year earlier in 1909, are two individuals whose actions etched an unforgettable impression on the canvas of American history during the bleak era of the Great Depression. Emerging from the profound desperation of their times, this notorious duo became living symbols of a nation straining under the weight of economic hardship and societal discontent. Their story is one of love and crime, a peculiar union carved out in the face of adversity. Raised in poverty, these two young souls found each other and clung on, their shared hardships forging an unbreakable bond. Their partnership, however, extended beyond the realms of romance. Together, they dove headlong into the murky world of crime and rebellion. Their audacious exploits, their daring robberies, their unmatched ability to elude law enforcement, all contributed to their growing notoriety. Each successful escape from the clutches of the law only fueled the public's enthrallment with them, their legend growing with every news headline. Bonnie and Clyde. They were more than just criminals, they were rebels. Renegades who flirted with danger at every opportunity, leaving their mark on every town they passed through. Their audaciousness was expressed in the form of numerous bank robberies, leaving a trail of turmoil and terror behind them. Despite their criminal endeavors, their story was not solely about crime. It was also about love, a complex, distorted love story, born in chaos and nurtured by danger. It is this intertwined tale of love and crime that continues to captivate audiences, reminding us of a tumultuous period in history and the enduring allure of rebellion and romance. A tale that has been immortalized across the media, from the gripping narratives of books and the heart-stopping frames of movies to the soul-stirring lyrics of songs. Next, we delve deep into the captivating life of John Dillinger. Born in 1903, who grew to become a charismatic and extraordinary bank robber. His fame stemmed from the challenging era of Prohibition, where he rose to a unique kind of notoriety. Dillinger was far from your average criminal. He was a figure that soon became a household name, largely attributed to his daring feats and vibrant personality. Raised in a turbulent environment, he possessed a certain kind of charm and charisma that was undeniably infectious. He was daring, bold, and wily, with an uncanny knack for staying one step ahead of the authorities at every twist and turn. His ability to execute daring escapes painted a picture of a man who was always 2 steps ahead, someone who constantly evaded the long arm of the law. During the Prohibition era, Dillinger kick-started his criminal career, which was marked with audacious adventures and reckless exploits. The high-speed chases, narrow escapes, and clever evasion from the authorities turned him into a legend in his own time. He was seen not as a petty criminal but a mastermind, a rebel who dared to defy societal norms and live life on his terms. His life was not just a sequence of thrilling chases and daring robberies. It was an intricate tapestry woven with fascinating personal stories and complex relationships that added depth to his character. He experienced love, loss, betrayals, and loyalty, all of which added color and intrigue to his narrative. Dillinger's criminally adventurous exploits weren't just about flouting the law, they were a testament to his wit, courage, and audacity, portraying who defied odds, pushed boundaries, and lived life on his terms under the law's ever-watchful eye. His legendary reputation was further ingrained by his dramatic downfall, a climactic end to a life marked by audacity and defiance. His capture, which remains a subject of intense debate and speculation, and the events that followed continue to fuel the fascination with his life. His notorious exploits and eventual downfall have become legendary, captivating and fascinating people worldwide to this day. His story, filled with audacity, defiance, and adventure, continues to inspire and intrigue long after his demise. Embarking further into our exploration, we encounter the notorious Al Capone. Alphonse Gabriel Capone, born in 1899 to Italian immigrants, arose from the unflinching streets of Brooklyn, New York. From this harsh upbringing, he transformed into the infamous Scarface. Donning this nickname, Capone's fame is tied to his time as the most notorious gangster during the turbulent Prohibition era in the United States. His life was an enigmatic mix of savagery and benevolence, dread and awe, sustaining his intrigue even today. In the Roaring Twenties, the Prohibition era, ushered in by the Volstead Act, led to the nationwide ban of alcohol. This situation presented criminal enterprises with a lucrative void to fill. Capone, a man of relentless guile, grasped this opportunity and dominated Chicago with his ruthless rule. The cunning Capone constructed a criminal empire on the backbone of contraband alcohol, gambling dens, and a gamut of other illicit activities. This empire, amassing millions during its zenith, crowned him the undisputed overlord of crime. Capone's distinguishing feature from his contemporaries was his larger-than-life persona. Despite his criminal undertakings, He promoted himself as a contemporary Robin Hood, frequently making charitable donations and assisting the less fortunate. This complexity added another dimension to his persona, crafting an image that incited both fear and respect. However, Capone's reign was not bulletproof. His violent tendencies and open defiance of the law made him a primary target for law enforcement. After years, it was not his notorious criminal activities, but the lesser crime of tax evasion that marked his downfall. In 1931, Capone was finally convicted and sentenced to 11 years of imprisonment. Capone's life serves as a dark exemplification of the American dream. He embodies the stark disparity between law-abiding citizens and the sinister underworld. His life story is a testament to the might and perils of uncontrolled ambition. Despite his downfall, his myth magnified, converting him into an icon of popular culture and folklore. Capone's narrative isn't merely about crime and dominance, it mirrors a society wrestling with evolution, corruption, and the chase of the American dream. His rule terminated with his conviction for tax evasion, but his legacy as a larger-than-life persona persists. Our journey culminates with the notorious tandem of Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. These memorable characters, more than just outlaws, became the embodiment of the raw, untamed spirit of the Wild West era through their actions. They entered the world as Robert Leroy Parker and Harry Alonzo Longabore in 1866 and 1867 respectively. But their aliases, Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, would cement their places in history. Butch Cassidy, coming from a poor family in Utah, began his life of crime early. Even as a young man, his charisma, intelligence, and strategic thinking distinguished him within the underworld. The Sundance Kid, a Pennsylvania native, gained notoriety for his quick reflexes and unparalleled gunmanship. Together, they formed an unstoppable powerhouse, equally revered and feared. The two became leaders of the Wild Bunch, a notorious gang renowned for their bank and train robberies. This gang wasn't just a group of criminals. It was a symbol of revolt against the burgeoning dominance of law and order. Their legendary heists, a blend of courage, wit, and a good deal of fortune, were audacious, each one surpassing the daring of the previous. The duo's crime spree extended beyond the borders of the United States. They found refuge in South America, where their crime wave persisted. With audacious heists in Argentina and Bolivia, they always managed to remain elusive to law enforcement. Newspaper accounts of their daring escapades entranced the public, further solidifying their legendary status. Despite their criminal lifestyle, Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid were fascinating figures. They symbolized freedom, defiance, and an adamant refusal to be subdued. They were remnants of a bygone era when lawlessness was the norm and justice was a mutable concept. Their audacious escapes and exploits in South America have ascended to the realm of legend. Their lives, filled with daring adventures and captivating exploits, have left an indelible mark on history. As we conclude our journey through the lives of famous American outlaws, we are reminded of the allure and fascination that surrounds these figures. Their evocative tales, shrouded in mystery and intrigue, have been passed down through generations, creating an indelible imprint on our collective consciousness. Each story weaves a unique narrative about individuals who, for one reason or another, chose to step outside the boundaries of societal norms, casting themselves as heroes or anti-heroes according to the prevailing social context. These characters, often viewed through sepia-toned lenses of nostalgia, have come to symbolize a time of unprecedented freedom and unregulated pursuits. If you've enjoyed this video and topics about history, please go ahead and like, share and subscribe to my channel World History Explored. Thank you until next time.